Hello and welcome to the Imagine AI Live podcast. I'm your host for this event, Chêrénique, and we are here in New York City at the first Impact event. I have a guest with me here. Hello, welcome.
Hi Chêrénique. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. So please introduce yourself to the audience and tell us a little bit about what you are working on currently.
Sounds great. So I'm Jiquan Ngiam. I'm now working on an AI startup called Lutra AI. Prior to that, I was at Google, in Google Brain, doing deep learning, applied learning research. Prior to that, was a founding team member of Coursera, where I helped to build the first online machine learning classes. And prior to that, was in Stanford doing a PhD program.
Awesome.
Yeah, so been doing AI for a long time now, and super excited to see what we can do with it today.
Very nice. Yeah. Awesome. So this current startup that you're working with, tell us about that. What is the startup and what are you doing?
What we're doing at this startup is really trying to reimagine how people can use AI in a very meaningful way for repetitive, mundane tasks that they're doing, like really complex things. So the goal is that, even today, for example, if you had ChatGPT and Perplexity, when you want to ask it to do a really complex task, like go through a big spreadsheet or go to your databases and update something in there, it's not fully integrated, and that's really hard. Right? And what we want to do is make that really easy, where you can go to an AI like our software and say, hey, can you go through my HubSpot contacts, my CRM, and update a property about that, do some internet research and put it into Airtable. Like, can we connect all the pieces together across the different apps we use and put AI in the middle and make it so much more useful for us? Right, so that's what we're doing, hoping to make AI just accessible, more available for everyone.
Amazing.
And really change the way that we work.
Yeah. And where are you at in the process of this?
So we've been working on this for many months now. We have a product that's out there. We have people using it right now. So we have customers using it for their actual workflows, enterprise workflows in there. We're starting to onboard more users today. So today at Imagine AI was doing a little presentation on our product and showing some really new user experiences that we've been building. And so what we have learned over the years has been that the key challenge in AI is AI startups like twofold. I think one is that AI is hard to get reliable, secure, works all the time.
Yes.
Demos are easy, products are hard. And number two, making user interfaces and interaction that's really natural with AI products. This is also not easy. Mm-hmm. So where we are is that we've been working through those two problems for the last few months. And I think right now on the cusp of having a really interesting, really cool product experience that we're hoping to share with the world and having them try it out. Amazing.
Yeah. So can you describe to me a little bit more about how people would interact with your product and what that looks like for them?
That sounds great. So how they would interact with it is that they would go to our website, Lutra.ai right now, and then they would tell the product, here are the data sources I'm working with. I'm working with maybe my Gmail, my Outlook, Airtable, Google Sheets, things like this. And then they'll give it an instruction like, hey, AI, can you please help me do X? Right? X could be go through all my emails, classify by importance, and then label them. And maybe, take emails that are personal in nature and categorize them and put them in an Airtable. We've seen that people do that too. Mm-hmm. And then what the AI does is that it does a short conversation with you to further clarify what they're trying to do. And then it generates a workflow. It generates this custom software, a custom AI tool just for your task for you to use. And then you're able to change it up, fix some knobs and then run it. Right? And that becomes part of a tool, a workflow that you can then automate. You can say, run this every morning, run this every time I do X. And that allows you to start really automating workflow processes.
I have so many questions that are coming to mind. How did you work on building this? Was this something you programmed yourself or using current things that you just built on top of?
I've been working in the AI space for 15 years right now, actually. So to me, last year when GPT-4, ChatGPT came out, there was this big shift in abilities. We saw the models being able to reason, plan, code, and it was really exciting. So back then I was tinkering around, playing out with ideas and making first versions of this Go, right? And it was really exciting to see the abilities of what it could do. The other thing that was very interesting to me was that when I was running teams at my past companies like Coursera, where I ran engineering teams, it was always the case that other teams like the support team or the marketing, sales, operations team never got enough engineering support. It was really hard to get engineers to help them automate more. Mm-hmm. And so when you put two and two together, so I started to see that the possibility was, what if we could empower more people to automate things and use these technologies that these models are doing to do it, right? But the hard part is that the systems to integrate things don't exist. And so what we did for the last few months have been to take a first principles approach and think about, if these models were at the center, producing software, producing code and tools, how should we design the ecosystem around that in order for them to work really effectively? Mm-hmm. And so I have a small team working with me, so around 7 people right now. that we are all engineering away, working hard at making this go. And so we're building this up as hoping to make a really cool product from it.
We've heard a little bit about what you're offering to other people, but how do you use AI in what you're doing and personally?
This ranges all the way from like outreach. So we use it to figure out who to reach out to get connections with. We also use it to do a lot of inbound processing. So if a customer signs up on our website, we use our workflows, Lutra AI workflows, to figure out who they are, how to prioritize them. We actually use it to do also a bunch of web scraping tools. So for example, we have a little workflow that actually looks at different Reddit forums and everything and highlights to us when users have a problem that we can solve, stuff like this. So like when we start to think about this, the way I think about it is there a manual process that you are doing every day? Have you done it 3 times now? And it's feeling like you feel like a robot when you're doing it, clicking the same buttons, right? And if that's the case, then there's a high possibility that a tool like ours or any AI tool might be able to start automating that. And so internally, what we do is to take a look a lot about our workflows, figure out what we're doing in a repeated basis, and then see if we can layer on automation on that.
Nice.
Yeah.
So are there any fears you have or challenges you foresee in the development of AI moving forward?
I'm an optimist. So I'm actually very optimistic about how this is going to be really beneficial for the world, right? Right? So I think technology has always been about improving lives. Like our lives today, like this building we're in, like this modern environment we're in, it's all from technology. And for me, when I look at AI, my framework is that the floor and ceiling framework. And what I mean is that AI raises the floor and also moves the ceiling up for everyone. So for everyone seeing the ceiling move up, kind of like, what could happen to me? But I think it's also the case that for everyone now, like if you were not that good at writing, you could now ask ChatGPT to help improve it. You're now a better writer. If you're not good at making art, now you could actually do it. You make art better. And then the real good artists, the real good writers are going to be even better. So the floor and ceiling moves up for all of us. And that's really exciting, right? Because all of us can do more now. Now, I think maybe not a fear, but I think what I would encourage is if you're not using AI today, then maybe there's some concern to be had because you're not going with the technology, you're not going with the flow, right? For example, if you choose to drive an older manual car today, everyone's driving a fast electric vehicle that's automatic, that's speeding by you, that's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
Like you're stuck on old technologies, right? So figure out how technology plays a part in your life and move with that. And I think that's something that we all have to do. And I'm very optimistic about, just quality of life going up for everyone.
Yeah, great advice and great outlook. Love that.
Yeah.
So I will ask one last question today. Yeah. If there's somebody that's listening that's thinking about attending the next Imagine AI live event, what would you say to them? AI
events are interesting, right? There's a lot of AI events that tend to be really technical. I used to go to machine learning conferences like NeurIPS and ICML, ICLR, and that's super technical. All the math equations are flying around everywhere. I mean, Imagine AI, it's an interesting event and it's geared not really to be that deeply technical, but to be more about how can I actually use this in really meaningful ways, in my business, in my applications, my day-to-day, right? So if you are looking for an opportunity to get into a place where AI for everyone, it's AI for the regular person, right? And really understanding how AI can impact your day-to-day operations, business. This is it, right? This is like the place to go to really learn more about that and see what people are up to, how they're applying AI, what's in the cutting edge in there. And I think that's a very special event in there because, there's just a lot of technical events and we need more of events that are around for people like the everyday person to really understand AI. And then they get to meet people like you that are offering services that they might need in their business. Exactly. Yes. Let's go. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you for the great conversation and enjoy the rest of the event. Oh, thanks. Thank you. Too.